Hello, my name is Will Torman, and right now I want to show you a project that I made. This is a bit of an extension of a project I made earlier in C++. I made a hours calculator, or an hours tracker. The reason for me doing this is just because I work in construction, and my boss doesn't really have an application set up for tracking hours, like clocking in, clocking out, calculating that, and all of those things. And so what I did was I made a C++ application that allows me to input my hours, my start and end time, and it'll just calculate that. I do that using military time just because it's easier to program anyway. So later on I'd like to change that. But this is essentially the same application, but with Kotlin for an Android app. I have an Android phone, so this is the language I chose to use. And I will quickly show it to you. Right here we have the cell phone. It's mirroring my phone, so I've got the application installed. I can click on it and we can put in a start time. So let's say start at 8 in the morning, so that'd be 800 hours. And we'll say I go to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so that'd be 1700. And we'll click calculate hours, and we get that I worked 9 hours. So what I do need to do is I need to divide that by 100. That's not a big deal. That's pretty easy to do. In fact, you can actually do that here in my main activity. We can go down here and we can do that right now, divide that by 100. And that should work. So now all we're going to do is we're going to reboot this. You're going to see me fix the code now. But that's pretty cool. So it'll close the app, we'll reopen it, and all of that. But while it's doing that and it's rebuilding the application, I'll quickly run over some of the things we did. We have the edit text. We gave them some IDs, so that's the start time. We also have the end time. Then I also added a button right here, and that's the calculate hours button. And then right here we have a little text view that allows us to see the hours when they're outputted. I ran into some errors earlier. I didn't set the size of my output, the text size, and so it gave me an error because it's like, hey, it's too small, it doesn't work. So that took me some time to fix. It was a cool learning experience because now that I've done that, I recognize how it works. Let's hurry and double check this, make sure this works. So 800, say 800, calculate hours. Okay, so I didn't fix it. We'll fix it later. But you saw it works. So anyways, that's the XML file. And now if we go to the Kotlin file and actually fix the error I made, I probably got to put parentheses around it. Anyways, we have all of these libraries that we have in here for like the buttons and stuff, and they're not actually even the libraries. We just have to import some of the stuff from the XML file. But anyway, we got that all in there. We have the functions, or I mean initializing the variables. I don't know why I said functions. And then we have our listener. This is what's listening for us to click the button. And then we also have the variables. They follow the IDs from this file because they're linked together. And so it'll take those and we can use that to make our little loop. Right here we have a when loop that will run and it will calculate those things and then it'll print our total hours. And so that's the program. I had a lot of fun making it. Obviously there's a couple of bugs and I just created another one like you saw. So we're going to have to fix that later. But I had a lot of fun making it and I obviously want to build on to this. When I have a little bit more time, I would like to handle all the user cases, like what if they put in a string, what if they don't use military time, and I want to do those things just to make it a little bit easier for the user. And I mean, the primary user is myself, so it's not a big deal. There we go. That's wrong too. I'll fix it. But yeah, that's the application. Obviously, you could see that it worked before I added any of this. I don't know why that's not working, so I'm going to have to adjust some of that. But that's the application. It'll work like it is now. And yeah, I plan to build on it later.